All right, I've got a squeaky belt in my Subaru. Let's take a listen. Did you hear that? Let me show you how I fixed it. All right, welcome to my channel. Thanks for clicking. Did you hear that? We've got a squeaky belt, I suspect. When I turn the steering wheel, it also squeaks. So I think it's that serpentine belt right back there. I am working on a Subaru Forester 2011, and I've got the turbo engine here, and it's got this little cover on it. So we're going to pop off this plastic cover. There should be 4 pins in this particular one. I actually only have 2. 2 does the job. I don't know where the other 2 went over the years. Anyway, you get the point. We'll remove this cover here and set that aside so we can access and see these belts right here. So I'm no mechanic whatsoever. I have no idea what I'm looking at. I know this is a belt, and it seems like it's in good condition. A, because it looks like it's not fraying or cracking or anything. And B, I recently had this replaced about 2 years ago, I want to say. And so I'd be shocked if it was in bad shape already. So what we're going to do is this bolt right here and that bolt right there. But before we mess around with that, let me just push on the tension here. We're going to kind of remember what that tension feels like. Try to apply the same amount of pressure each time, but that's pretty imperfect if you ask me. By the way, not leaving a lot of dust or, again, not cracking. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. So I think it's just a loose belt. Closer look there. Before we take this on, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this channel with somebody. That would be great. I do lots of projects around the house, saving you time and money. That's the idea. So pressing for tension is kind of imperfect. Instead, we're going to get a marker here, and we're going to be putting a straight line on the actual top of the bolt itself and the washer and the piece of metal underneath, because what I'm doing here is aligning this up from the starting position. Meaning before I start turning these bolts and twisting these, loosening and tightening, I want to know what the default baseline position is. Where did I start? This will help me remember and know exactly how much I have turned which bolt. Mostly so that we can get things back into the original position, this one down here in particular. So I've got my socket wrench right here, and we're going to go ahead and loosen the bottom one up. We're not going to twist the top bolt first, just the bottom one, just like that. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. And that's pretty snug, so I've got to use a little bit of what little strength I have here to get that loosened up. And I don't want to back it all the way out, I just want it to be loose, because that will now allow me to loosen or tighten this top bolt right here. Figure out the correct way. And we're going to be tightening it because my belt, I think, is loose. So that means it needs to be tighter. So I am turning clockwise. And you can see the importance of that marker, because I know the bottom one is where I started, and the little black mark on the top of the bolt itself, on the nut part, is where I'm going to end. Now I'm going to put a little piece of tape here just for a second to indicate exactly how much I've turned. I've turned it clockwise 1 full turn. I'll put that over here so it doesn't fall into any engine part. That would be terrible. Alright, and then we're going to tighten back up. We'll leave the top one where it was. We're going to tighten up the bottom bolt again. You can see I need to align those black lines to tighten them up. So we'll pull it down, tightening, right? And you can get back there and just make sure that those black lines that I marked earlier indeed line up. And that's how I know it's back tight to its original position. We'll start it up here. And we've got no squeaks happening. However, don't leave yet. You're going to want to pay attention to the temperature, because if you start this thing up in the cold temperature, it's probably going to squeak. At least it was with mine. If I fix it later in the day, it's going to be warmer, right? So did I actually fix the problem? So you're going to want to test this, not in the warm temperature because you might not have tightened it tight enough, but you don't hear the squeak because it's warmer. The cold weather is when we want to test it out. So the next morning when it's still a little chilly, I'm going to go out and I'm going to start it up. And if it's squeaking, then I need to go back and tighten it a little bit more. But it sounds pretty good. I am happy with that. And I'm going to turn the wheel too, just to make sure. And we are squeak free, baby. Hopefully this has helped you.